Watch Lisa Bell weekdays on News 6 starting at 4 p.m. Live from clickorlando.com and WKMG, we're getting results in your neighborhood now at 4 p.m.
Now at 4, the proposed cuts to schools across the state that could impact your child's education. But first, all eyes are on the White House tonight. President Trump is expected to speak in a matter of moments to announce a new round of tariffs. Thanks for joining us. I'm Lisa Bell.
And I'm Emily McLeod. You're watching News 6 at 4. We're keeping a close eye on the White House, and we'll bring you the president's press conference when he begins. But before we even know for certain the products or countries these new tariffs will impact, the market has been reacting. The Dow Jones has been up almost all day. So has the S&P 500. We'll be paying close attention to that. American households have been feeling the impacts on tariffs even before they were officially enacted. Prices on cars, electronics, and fresh produce are already rising. CBS News reports customers are already rushing to car dealerships before costs are expected to spike. During an annual investor meeting last month, Target CEO said consumers will likely see price increases on produce staples like avocados, bananas, and strawberries. In a press release on Monday, analysts at GasBuddy, a national gas price tracker, said continued uncertainty around whether tariffs will be implemented also impact pump prices, setting the stage for a volatile period for American drivers. Now, one way we're seeing the impacts of that in the real world comes at restaurants. The Bureau of Economic Analysis found from January to February this year, Americans spent $10 billion more on groceries and cut back on restaurants and hotels by $15 billion. Again, we're keeping an eye on the White House for the president. We'll bring you that press conference live.
Right now, though, we do want to check in with News 6 anchor Matt Austin, who continues our Hits the Road coverage this week. Today, he is live from the shores of Lake Jessup, where he is surrounded by hundreds of his closest alligator friends out there, Matt.
That's right. There's some big ones just right outside this window right here. That's right. We are continuing our Hits the Road coverage at a place where many of our viewers wrote in and said, hey, you got to go to the Black Hammock on the shores of Lake Jessup. So that is where we are. Let's show you what some of Lake Jessup has to offer in the Black Hammock here. There's a lot. That's because this place has everything. It's got airboat rides. It's got foods, all right here on Lake Jessup. And Jessup happens to have a whole lot of one thing. Alligators. This lake is actually one of the highest concentration of gators in the state of Florida. We're going to have a story on that coming up. Plus, we have been hearing your concerns about one thing in particular in Oviedo. It is growth. So I started looking into why the city is building up and what the plans for the future. I'm talking the next 20 years. I'm going to have a layout for that story for you a little later on in this show. For now, I'm just going to hang out on the shores here of Lake Jessup. I'm going to watch my back very carefully, and we'll be back in just a few minutes telling you more stories from Oviedo. Ladies?
It is gorgeous out there, Matt, and that's one of my favorite things to do when people come to town is to take them out on an airboat tour right there on Lake Jessup. You get some of that old Florida feel. Love it. All right, Matt, we'll be checking in with you throughout the evening. Right now, we want to check in with meteorologist Julie Broughton, who's standing by. Another toasty day out there for us, Julie.
It sure is. I know Matt's inside, but man, what a beautiful shot behind him. All that blue sky also looking beautiful in Brevard County. This is our Launch Credit Union camera out in Port Canaveral, and you can see a lot of sunshine. That has been the case area-wide today, and we are also all dealing with the heat once again. Right now in Port Canaveral, you are sitting at 84 degrees. Winds are coming in out of the east and southeast at 14 miles per hour. And you'll notice as we look across our interior spots, we're seeing some 90-degree readings on the map. All of us at least close to 90. It's 89 in Orlando. DeLand, you are at 90 right now. The Village is 89, 90 in Wildwood, 88 in Leesburg, and 88 degrees right now in Claremont. Now, yesterday we were dealing with that sea breeze collision during the evening hours. Our winds today are primarily coming in out of the southeast. We are seeing some pretty strong gusts at times, up to around 28 miles per hour in Sanford, but that means we will see a sea breeze collision well off to the west of I-75 today, so we keep it dry for much of the day. Now, we do have some rain and cooler temperatures in the forecast. I'll tell you when coming up.
All right, Julie, thank you. Parents and students are worried about possible cuts to advanced placement classes in high schools in Florida. Many students take them to boost their chances of getting into top top universities.
The classes most recently came under fire in 2023 after the governor went back and forth with the AP over psychology, sociology, and Black history classes due to what he called political agendas in the courses. As News 6's Laverne McGee tells us, there could be a big cut in Tallahassee's upcoming budget, impacting your child's education. We're learning new details today on what another potential bear hunt could look like in Florida. Florida Fish and Wildlife officials discussed a proposal for a bear hunt this year. A quota would be established for each area of the state for the number of bears allowed to be hunted. In Central Florida, it would be 18 bears. Wildlife officials say licenses would be given out by a lottery system, and each would allow the holder to hunt one bear. All right, we're going to get you on out to the White House right now. We're being told President Trump is ready to speak. We are assuming about some upcoming tariffs.
All right, you've been watching live as President Trump talks about tariffs from the Rose Garden at the White House, calling this Liberation Day. He said that many countries have targeted the United States with what he called non-monetary barriers like currency manipulation, subsidies, exorbitant taxes, and theft of intellectual property, talking about adding 25% tariffs to automobiles that will be imported into the United States, which is something he has already talked about, but he's talking a little bit more about that right now. Of course, we're going to continue to stream that for you on clickorlando.com.
Yep, and we will have more of some of those key moments from that news conference coming at you at 4:30. We'll be right back.
News 6 Insider is sponsored by Orange County Library System. Central Florida weather changes constantly. Don't have time to turn on the TV? Grab the Pinpoint Weather app from the App Store. The app is like having a News 6 meteorologist in your pocket. Open it up, boom, there's the radar. Boom, there's the forecast. It has the Futurecast right on it, the same modeling used in the News 6 studio. And if there's a warning, it comes automatically to your phone. Download the free News 6 Pinpoint Weather app now and have our weather team with you whenever you need us. Sponsored by Renewal by Anderson.
Hey, I'm Matt Austin. Welcome back to our Hits the Road coverage. We are live in Oviedo. I am along the beautiful shores of Lake Jessup, and one of the best ways to see this area is by airboat. News 6's Mike DeForest just did that. He just experienced that, and he shows you one of the main attractions out here, of course, are the alligators. Oh, you definitely have to stay on the jet ski. I've flown with Sky 6 over Lake Jessup. I have seen the Loch Ness Monster. You see some giant dinosaurs in this lake, Mike.
Well, if you did fall off your jet ski, the good news is even though it's Seminole County's largest lake, it's actually not very deep. Averages about 6 feet. So you probably walk away. It's surprisingly shallow, so as long as you avoided the alligators, of course, but it's even shallower in certain parts. Of course, when they get the hurricanes through, because this is connected to the St. Johns River, it will get really high as well. But I was amazed at how shallow it is, considering the size. But just, yeah, you forget until you're out on an airboat like that, just with all these eyeballs all around looking at you.
Man, yeah, and if you fell off your jet ski, you'd probably land on one. 13,000 gators out there. I can see several behind us right now looking at us. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more of today's news.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Light Orlando, delivering hope together.
Welcome back. We are following several big stories right now.
Yeah, starting with President Donald Trump has announced reciprocal tariffs against nearly all U.S. trading partners. The president simplified the concept by saying, quote, "Happens to us, it happens to them," stating any country that issues tariffs against the United States will be met with tariffs in return. The president hasn't said what the tariff rates on all foreign goods will be, but we already know about a 25% tariff on car imports.
In a few moments, I will sign a historic executive order instituting reciprocal tariffs on countries throughout the world. Reciprocal, that means they do it to us and we do it to them.
Now we want to know how you feel about tariffs. It's the topic of our poll today. You can take out your phone, scan the QR code on your screen. It'll take you to clickorlando.com/react where you can weigh in. We want to know, have you changed your buying habits because of or proposed tariffs? Right now, everyone says no.
All right, we'll have more coverage of the impacts of the tariffs, including potentially here in Central Florida, ahead at 5.
But now we're going to check back in with News 6 anchor Matt Austin, who is live right along Lake Jessup as part of our Hits the Road coverage. Matt?
Well, ladies, today we're talking about growth, and in cities like your city in Central Florida or Oviedo, one of the main drivers for planning for the growth of these communities is Bieber. No, not this Bieber. Actually, it is this Bieber, the Bureau of Economic and Business Research. They basically tell these local communities how many people they need to plan for in the next 20 years or so. And those cities, well, they have to accommodate. Now, the city took years to come up with this plan, and they took lots of public comment, and so now they have that plan, and that is what they're channeling for growth in the future. And ladies, as we bring you back in the studio here, one of the big issues they have right now is affordable housing in Oviedo. I'd like to ask you what you think the median sales price in Oviedo is right now, because it surprised me when I heard. What do you think?
Sales price?
I'm going to go with $346.
I'm going to say $380.
It's
Julie
above
Broughton says $382.
$500,000.
$500,000.
More
Wow.
than $500,000
Wow.
is the average price in Oviedo right now. So a lot of these new housing complexes that are coming in are apartments or mixed use. So hopefully that will drive that down. Maybe in the future.
And that last, mention from the person you interviewed out there who said, we want to make sure the infrastructure can handle the growth. We hear that all the time, but you build the infrastructure and the people will come, right? So it's like, what came first, the chicken or the egg?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're trying to do it, a lot of it at the same time right now. And what you need that infrastructure growth, but often that's what people feel the most as they're trying to get around.
Yeah.
And those roads are being widened. You know, that's what keeps you late for work and getting to your kids' practice. So that is often what people don't want to see, but it has to happen.
A lot of growing pains out there and across Central Florida for sure, Matt. Thank you. Now, Matt and I will be switching seats once again. I'll be back in Oviedo tomorrow, along with Julie Broughton as part of our live Hits the Road coverage. And tomorrow I'm going to be taking you inside another hidden gem in the community. It took me down memory lane to my childhood a little bit. Make sure to tune in tomorrow on News 6, clickorlando.com, and the News 6 Plus streaming app for your smart TV.
Because if someone goes in your backyard, you can blow their heads off. I have a right to protect my property and my house.
Yes, ma'am.
So you ain't coming back.
Yes, ma'am.
Ever.
Yes, ma'am.
Woo, a terrifying encounter for two teens who just wanted to go fishing. The Brevard Sheriff's Office says the woman who is carrying a pellet gun puts the 13 and 15-year-old friends in fear for their lives, and the kids, now they were able to record it as they were ordered to the ground.
59-year-old Donna Elkins said those kids were trespassing in her yard, but now she is facing charges of aggravated assault and false imprisonment. News 6's James Barbero has much more from the neighborhood in Vieira.
All right, James, thank you. Today, the city of Ocoee approved a measure to expand the use of license plate reader cameras to enhance public safety. We brought you this story yesterday evening. The city already has 10 cameras installed, but will be adding 5 more at key intersections. Orlando's former police chief says these cameras help deter crime, but some residents have expressed concerns about privacy.
I can see that if they looking for somebody in particular, they're running from the law, that can be something that can help find it easily and find the information. But for the users every day, you're exposing yourself every single time.
News 6's Angie Quesada covered this story yesterday. You can check out a list of the locations for the new cameras on this story at clickorlando.com.
Well, it feels like everywhere you turn today, your wallet is taking a hit.
Definitely, and now that's even including the road. The program to help drivers cover the cost to cruise on our highways, that's ending, and how drivers say it's impacting them. Julie.
We are dealing with that heat out there once again today. Lots of folks, though, out there enjoying Daytona Beach, where right now you're sitting at 84 degrees. Factor in the relative humidity, and just about all of us are feeling like the 90s. Feels like 97 in the Villages. We do have some rain and a cool down on the way. We will time that out coming up.
You're watching News 6 at 4 o'clock. Getting results. We'll be right back.
This portion of the news is sponsored by your Central Florida Honda dealers.
Fun fact, if you look closely, you'll see I am an extra on Bring It On 4. It was actually shot right here at Universal Orlando. I did skip school for that. Fun fact, I love roller coasters, all of them. Have you been on the Velocicoaster? My favorite. Fun fact, I got to water ski with the Cypress Gardens water ski team. Fun fact, I have like 5 alarms on my phone to wake me up starting at 1:30. Got to make sure I make it to work in the morning so that you can tune in for News 6 Morning starting at 5.
It's not the heat, it's the humidity, right? How many times do you hear that here in Central Florida? Because it's true. Here in Central Florida, not only do we follow the actual temperatures in the summer, but it's that feels like temperatures that will make it feel even hotter. Did you know that the humidity can make temperatures feel between 10 to 15 degrees hotter than the actual temperature? That's called feels like. Let me explain. Think of your body as having an internal AC unit, regulating the temperatures to make sure you don't go too hot or too cold. Now, one way that the body cools down is by sweating, and it's the evaporation that helps cool down your temperature. But we've got a problem. It's called humidity. When the air is super saturated with moisture, it doesn't allow the sweat on our skin to evaporate, which is why our bodies are thinking it's way hotter than that. Get it? Feels like temperatures.
Florida drivers are feeling the sting of higher toll costs, and there's no relief in sight. The state's toll rebate program ended this week, and as budget talks continue in Tallahassee, lawmakers, they really haven't made any moves to bring it back.
Yeah, meanwhile, the Central Florida Expressway Authority is considering adding another toll road. News 6's Angie Casada looks at how all of those factors are impacting drivers. And unless lawmakers step in, that is how it will likely stay. We'll keep following this as the state finalizes the budget.
I mean, more toll roads than any other state. That's going to have a huge impact.
Absolutely, yeah. That person had to spend $1,000. Yeah, I mean, that really eats into the monthly budget.
It does,
yeah.
Especially if it's unexpected.
Mm-hmm. All right, meteorologist Julie Broughton is standing by, pinpointing what we can expect tonight in the weather. Julie?
We are keeping the heat around. Yesterday at this time, we were tracking some of those sea breeze storms. Today, we are dry as our East Coast sea breeze and West Coast sea breeze will collide west of our area. So with the dry weather out there, we don't have any of those showers to help kind of bring relief from the heat. So most of us are hovering around 90 degrees through the evening hours. We keep it warm, mild overnight. Most of us will stay in the low 70s. We will be tracking some light fog toward morning. Then as we roll through the rest of our work week into the weekend, we keep it in the low 90s. But next week, that's when we see a little bit of a relief. We'll see a front moving in Monday into Tuesday. That will bring some showers. But look at our highs by Tuesday afternoon. Most of us will be in the 70s. Daytona Beach, you'll top out 73 Tuesday, and we're looking at 78 for our high in Orlando on Tuesday. Normal high this time of year will be around 82 for that day. Here's a look at the radar scanning out for us, showing we are dry. Yesterday, we had that sea breeze collision late in the day. That will not be the case today. That collision will happen, I think, west of I-75, so we will keep it dry. Here's what it looks like for you outside right now. This is our Light Orlando Delivering Hope Together camera showing beautiful blue sky and some fair weather clouds out there. 89 right now in Orlando. Yesterday, we made it to 90 for the first time this year. Winds are coming in out of the southeast at 16 miles per hour. That is helping to move that sea breeze along pretty quickly. 88 degrees right now in Leesburg. It's 90 in Wildwood, 90 in the Villages, and 84 right now in New Smyrna Beach. Factor in the relative humidity, and it is feeling very toasty out there. It feels like 93 in Leesburg, and it feels like 97 degrees right now for those of you in the Villages. Winds are pretty gusty at times. That will be the case tomorrow as well. Along the coast especially, you're talking about wind gusts close to 30 miles per hour out of the southeast. And you can see those winds coming in from the west along the west coast. So that is where we'll see that sea breeze collision happening later today. So your hour by hour forecast as you plan the rest of your afternoon into this evening. We keep it dry. We keep it hot. By the way, this is Theodore. He recently celebrated his 4th birthday. So I imagine he'll be starting pre-K perhaps next year. But what a handsome guy. 87 degrees at 6 o'clock. We keep it dry for 7 and 8 o'clock as well. Dry all evening. Temperatures going to 83 by 8 o'clock. Head to clickorlando.com/pins to share your pet photos with us. We absolutely love seeing them. Southeastern United States showing again we are dry. However, you'll notice we are talking about the potential of a big severe weather outbreak throughout much of the central U.S. from Illinois back down through Missouri, Arkansas, back down into Texas as well, along with a cold front that is pushing to the east. We keep it dry for the next several days. Clouds and rain forecast taking you through the rest of our afternoon into this evening. 7 o'clock. By that time, the East Coast sea breeze as well to our west. We start to see that sea breeze collision along the west coast of Florida before that easterly flow helps to push everything back out over the Gulf. Through the overnight hours, we keep it dry. We will see some areas of fog forming toward morning. That's been the case for us for the last several mornings. So again, we're talking about reduced visibility in some spots. First thing tomorrow morning, about 5 to 6 mile visibility for most of us between 7 and 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Overnight lows stay right around 70 in most spots, 69 in DeLand, 71 for the overnight low in Winter Haven. Here's how it looks for the next 7 days. Expect to keep it on the warm side as we head through the weekend, up to 91 on Sunday. That front comes through Monday into Tuesday. Timing still not exactly honed in exactly when we're thinking, but we think maybe late Monday into Tuesday. That front comes through, clearing by Tuesday afternoon with highs Tuesday and Wednesday in the 70s.
That'll feel great. Thank you, Julie. Well, it's easy to fly within the U.S. with just your driver's license and a ticket.
But those rules are changing soon. That could impact your next flight. After the break, what officials are urging you to do now and how it could impact your travel plans if you don't.
You're watching News 6 at 4:30. Getting results. We'll be right back.
Hey, Justin Wormuth, News 6 morning news anchor. A fun fact about me is I was actually an Orlando Magic ball boy. That was my first job. Another fun fact is I like playing golf. In fact, when I was 16, I got a hole in one. Another fun fact about me is I have worked at Channel 6 for 12 beautiful, wonderful years. And when I was in high school, I was not the first chair trumpet, but I was in the marching band. Something else that's interesting, at least I find it interesting, is I grew up in a baseball family. I played college baseball at Embry-Riddle in Daytona. And as the oldest, my younger brothers were better than me. They actually went pro. And the last fun fact about me is I've once been called the Leslie Knope of Orlando. And that just means that I just love Central Florida. I love this community. Even if people talk bad about it, I don't care. I love this community so much, and I want to see it thrive, and that's why I do what I do. Start your mornings differently with News 6 Mornings.
Some would say it's a meteorologist's job to be here during the afternoon showers and major storms. But we disagree. It's not just a job, it's our passion. We work hard analyzing the most advanced maps, radar, and data, bringing you a blueprint so you can take on the day with the ones you love. Getting results by keeping you safe. That's our passion, and that's just what we do.
We've told you about it before, but if you're planning to fly anytime soon, you're really running out of time to get new documents you'll need to get through security.
So you will need what's called a real ID in order to get through airport security starting on May 7th. That's just 5 weeks from today. Congress passed a bill after 9/11 mandating the switch to real ID since it's harder to create a fake ID with it, which helps boost security. You'll still be able to get a real ID after the deadline, but the TSA says it could impact your travel.
Everybody is responsible for presenting the proper travel documents when they come to the checkpoint. There's going to be a phased approach of enforcement, but people will experience travel delays.
So the TSA has not announced what that phased enforcement will look like, but you will still be able to get through security with a passport or active military ID.
Now, I'm sure if you've been to the airport recently, like I have, you've seen the signs. It says you're going to need your real ID. But if you don't have a real ID yet, here's what you'll need to get one. You'll need to provide your current ID, passport, or birth certificate, proof of your social security number and date of birth, and 2 items proving state residency. The IDs can take a couple of weeks to come in the mail, which is why officials are urging everyone to get ahead of it now. But there's also a really good chance you already have a real ID. Florida Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles says they began issuing real IDs driver's licenses in 2010. But if you're not sure, check the upper right corner of your driver's license. There should be a star to let you know.
Yes, it's easy to check that.
All right, well, have you ever traveled somewhere and just felt instantly happier?
Yes.
Yes. Have you ever wondered how people there could ever be unhappy?
Yes. Believe it or not, it happens. A recent study looked at the happiest cities in America based on emotional and physical well-being, income and employment, and community and environment. Researchers ranked 182 cities across the country. This comes from Wallet Hub, and it found the 3 happiest cities were all in California. Pembroke Pines in Florida was ranked ranked the happiest city in the Sunshine State at 39th overall. Orlando was the top city in Central Florida. It came in at 66, which is shocking because I thought it was the happiest place on earth,
yeah.
right?
We need to take another look at that study. It's bogus. All right, here's what's coming up on News 6 at 5.
Yeah, people want solutions as parking problems persist in Flagler Beach. News 6's Molly Reed is getting results and exploring solutions to that parking nightmare.
And Hits the Road continues next here on WKMG News 6. Wow, absolutely gorgeous live look out at Vito. Our celebration of Oviedo has brought us to a popular adventure spot outside the city, the Black Hammock. Per viewer recommendations, we're checking it out for ourselves.
Your pinpoint accurate forecast is just minutes away. Don't forget you can stream all of our newscasts and live cameras like this for free anytime on News 6 Plus.